It's micandbike day 3. Welcome to the morning commute. The buses are just on up ahead and I'm on my way to work again. And I'm listening to yet more This American Life today. I've just finished an episode about the apocalypse. Morning. I had an interesting segment about a man who is working on helping breed red heifers to take to Israel to fulfill prophecy in the reestablishment of the temple. And they also interviewed a woman who had calculated when she thought the apocalypse was going to happen, or the rapture, and her anticipation of the big event for that date. And I've never really understood the fascination with the apocalypse. Well, I guess I do and I don't. It's kind of interesting. It's a very, the biblical sense, or even non-Christian sense, different religions have their own versions of kind of the end times. There is something kind of visceral about it, thinking about the end of the world. I mean, why do they make so many disaster movies? There's something to that, to thinking that everything could end, life as we know it. So whether it's with an asteroid hitting the Earth in a disaster movie, or God's coming amongst us again and taking people to heaven, and casting aside the sinful, it kind of amounts to the same thing, the end of life as we know it. But what does perplex me, though, is the people who want there to be an apocalypse or an end times, and they're looking forward to the rapture, per se. I mean, the thing that's ever got me about that is that why, if it's going to happen, let's say it's true, let's say that the biblical tellings of the end times are all true. If God wants that to be the case, we don't have to do anything to accelerate it. That's convenient. The kids now have a couch to sit on waiting for the bus. So back to the apocalypse. So why do some people feel that they should try to accelerate the apocalypse, like the guy with the red heifer? I mean, it's going to happen as it'll happen. The whole idea of people purposefully trying to do things to make the prophecy be fulfilled seems a little wonky to me. And then there's the people who just are looking forward to it because they want to go to heaven and see the end. Well, there's a few things about that. One is, what's so bad about this life? I thought it was kind of telling the woman they interviewed on This American Life, who had predicted the date for the end was suffering from severe back pain, and said life is very difficult. So right there, that kind of gives me a hint of why she wants there to be an end. But I mean, if God or gods have people on earth for whatever reason, then we're where they want us to be anyway. And so this is what your God wants you to do. So why not be content with that and saying you're fulfilling your God's destiny, or your destiny and your God's will by being on the earth? And there's almost some similarity, I think, between the wishing for the end time and people who have been given a diagnosis of a terminal illness. I just watched a Robin Williams movie, Angriest Man in Brooklyn, and a doctor told him he had 90 minutes to live. And what would he do? And so then it becomes, well, if you knew you only had 90 minutes left, what would you do in your life? And so if there are things you would be, if you knew you were going to die soon and there's things you would be doing or you'd be living your life differently as a result, then why aren't you doing it now? Why do you have to wait why do you need a prognosis of a short lifespan or a terminal illness to change your life to do the things that you think you should be doing? And I say the same thing about the apocalypse. I mean, if there's things you think that you should be doing in your life because your God would want you to do them, or be nice or whatever, then why should it matter if the apocalypse is coming soon or later or when? It's kind of irrelevant. Just be that person you think your God wants you to be, or do those things you think your God wants you to do. So I just always found the logic of apocalypse belief a little hard to comprehend. I do find it interesting they make so many movies and stories around the Christian apocalypse in the end times, whether you're talking about The Omen or Exorcist, any number of new movies, modern movies. They keep making it's a very popular theme, Christian apocalyptic storylines. It makes me wonder though, because the people who really do buy into this stuff, I think they view a lot of those movies as satanic, so really wouldn't want to see them. And so the rest of the population, one would think, don't believe it. So then why would they go see that stuff? But I guess maybe there's a wide range of people who kind of are in the middle, kind of believe but don't fully believe, and so are intrigued, and therefore will be titillated by movies and storylines that revolve around the apocalypse, Armageddon, and so on. This is, by the way, one of the reasons that I like our church, that we chose to go to the Unitarian Church. They don't really talk about heaven and hell all that much. Well, certainly not hell. I think that was one of their main things, is that, to start out with, is they didn't believe in a hell. I mean, why would a God want to banish his creations to sorrow and harshness? I've always thought if there ever is kind of a hell and an afterlife, it'd be created by ourselves, a construct that we ourselves make. It's kind of in your own mind. Ultimately, I don't really worry about it very much. I think that I believe that all we should do is, all we need to worry about is doing the best that we know in our lives, being good to others and ourselves, and enjoying life. And I believe in universal laws of behavior and of morality. I mean, gluttony can't lead to happiness because you'll die if you imbibe too much in many things. So, and then the same with many other things in life, you know. It's the relationships and families that we have that lead to joy and happiness. So then it would make sense that things that help us have happy families are going to be the moral things for us to do. And then, since we're social animals, treating others well only makes sense because we want them to treat us well. So I don't think you have to have beliefs in deities to think that there's good reasons to live a moral life. And as long as we do that, then whatever deities may exist, whatever afterlife there might be, you've done all you can really be, all you can really do. Just defies comprehension that there would be a deity that would be so angry as just to punish people because they didn't believe in it, and that's the sin. To believe that, then you believe in a God that punishes most of its creations. It's interesting. You see some people out in their coats. I'm just in a t-shirt here, whipping along. It's a little chilly, but not as chilly as yesterday morning. I don't feel too much numbness in my fingers. There's the duck family on the road. I don't see Papa Duck though. Rain. There they are, working away, moving earth. Lots of heavy equipment active this morning there. That truck has got a pretty short bed on the back. More SUV than truck. Another runner coming up. Definitely a lot of cyclists today. Morning. The old trail used to go right through where those logs are. You can see lots of seeds on the trail here. The white, it's becoming brown with dust. It was just a few weeks ago that the air was just full of seeds floating in the air. It's almost like winter with a snowstorm. Went on for a week or more. There's certainly a lot of green in the Northwest, and I love that. But it's interesting. My allergies don't bother me that much up here in the Northwest. I had I had much more sneezing and allergic effects when I lived in California. There must have been some plant or something down there that my body didn't agree with. But the absolute worst place for my allergies was in New Zealand. When I went on a bike ride in the South Island, there was something there that made me sneeze and have a runny nose like I've never had in my life. Had to go get some Claritin at a drugstore. Well, I loved the South Island. Very beautiful place. Loved that bike ride. But just that one thing with me. With my allergies. I don't know what it was. Some plant or something. In general, though, I never really had much problem with allergies, even in California. Even though I'd be sneezing every day a little bit, it was never that intense. Hello, good morning. Yeah, thanks. Whoa! That was fun. Yeah, motorists don't always pay too much attention to us cyclists. Can't tell you how many times people have tried to cut me off. can't wait for me to go past their turn. Roundabouts are one of the worst. Yeah, have a good day. That's an interesting small bike. It's a folding model. Looks highly transportable. We're coming to the end of another beautiful commute. And I'll say bid adieu to my audience. And stay tuned for the next episode of Mike and Bike.